Alright, so Comic-Con is coming to Chicago, so we're working on this. It is a zombie costume made from foam, and we've put a coat of paint on it. We're gonna let this paint dry, and we're gonna stick it on Raquel, see how it fits, see how it looks. Hey guys, it's the amazing Ryan, and I have another creation, and this is for Raquel. This is for Comic-Con 2015 Chicago. So I thought it's literally like a few days away, and we just decided yesterday that we were going to go. So I just started on this costume. I'm sorry I haven't made a video up to this point, but it's pretty cool. Being that it's going to be worn by my 4-year-old daughter, of course it's lightweight. It's made of foam, which you can get, like I think we got this from Joann Fabrics or Walmart. But either way, it's just made of foam. I use 3M Super 77 glue to glue the pieces together. It's a pretty tough glue, although there's some spots that need to be glued a little bit better. I also got a little bit of overspray here. The dark green on the shirt and the sleeves, that's going to get another coat. I've also got one more color I have to add. Then of course I have to do the mouth and the eyes, which I'm going to do next. But Raquel is going to love this. It's going to be lightweight. It's easy. I took all the measurements. It fits her perfectly. And we've got a little cutout here at the end of the arms so she can actually use her hands. So she can grab toys that are for sale and run up to me and say, please, please, please. And I'll be like, all right. But, whoa! Yeah. Whoa!
I'm like a zombie, baby.
Someone's ready for Comic-Con.
Me.
So, I've finished Raquel's Comic-Con costume. There it is. Here is our zombie kid. That's what Raquel's gonna wear. So now that her costume's done, I gotta make my costume. So I was gonna do something really simple, but I thought, no, there's no way, because this is one of my specialties. I gotta do this right. This is actually my first Comic-Con, so I got a bunch of materials together to work on a costume. Now I can't do a whole Stormtrooper because of the fact that I don't have all the Stormtrooper pieces, but I do have a few. I of course have the helmet, and I have the chest piece and the back piece as well. But I grabbed a bunch of random stuff here because I'm gonna finally get to use my favorite toy, which is my Vacu-Form machine. I haven't used it in a while, so basically I took all these little odds and ends, all these really cool like bits and pieces. I'm gonna make a really awesome costume out of this stuff, and I'm gonna Vacu-Form a lot of these shapes and come up with something really cool. And my idea is a bounty hunter that's loosely based off a Stormtrooper. So it's going to be a Stormtrooper mask, chest, and back piece, but it's going to be all the other bits are going to be kind of from my own head. So it's going to be really, really cool. But it's going to be silver and red, maybe silver and orange. But I've been gathering up all these little pieces, all these little odds and end things, different shapes, what have you. Because I thought I can take some of this stuff apart and I can vac-form it and I can make some really cool stuff out of it. And one of my favorite things that I've got here is actually from our Swiffer. Just about everybody has a Swiffer, but I took this Swiffer and I thought, you know what, I'm going to actually do something really cool with this. Make it some kind of either an armband type deal or a weapon. I'm not really sure. Not really sure. Just going to kind of play it by ear. Hopefully it turns out really good. I only got like 2 hours of sleep last night, and I'm really exhausted. I'm still wearing the same clothes I was wearing yesterday. What little sleep I had in these clothes. So I'm going to go ahead and get cracking on this, and when I get the Vacu-Form set up and ready, of course I'm going to film that because Vacu-Forming is awesome. So, yeah. Alright, so as you see, I got my Vacu-Form table all set up. I dug it out of the garage and brought it in here into the dining room. And the wife is going to be just thrilled when she gets home because she loves this thing, especially because of how big it is and how small our house is. So this is going to be fun. Hopefully we can get all these parts thermal formed and knocked out in a timely manner, and then I can put this back. Actually, I want to put it back in my office. Now that I got the carpet up in there, I took it out, put it in the garage, dismantled it, pulled the carpet, and then never put it back together. So hopefully everything still works good on it. We'll find out. So I just got the shop vac hooked up to the table. There's a hole underneath. I know it's really dark, but you can see there's a hole the hose goes into. Alright, so I got all my cords ran. I got 3 individual heaters. Each one takes a lot of juice, so I have to run a cord for pretty much different breakers in the house, because if they're all plugged into one breaker, they'll trip the breaker. I got the heaters going here, full blast. They're all working, which is good. I can still use it if one heater goes bad, but I prefer to have all 3 because it just works better. So, all right, so see what I got my plastic sheet locked down in the frame here, clamped down tight. All these clamps are tight except for the one that broke off, but that's okay. I really don't need this many. I just figured better safe than sorry when I was building it. But we got the sheet in here. And now I can start getting ready to build my forms, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm working on the backpack that I'm going to make for my stormtrooper based bounty hunter, and I've always liked this part of the costume. I always thought it was really cool of the stormtrooper. I don't want to cover it up, so what I'm doing is I'm making a backpack that will actually, this part in the middle here will be cut out and it'll be open. It'll go along like that. Now this piece right here, I'm going to have a weapon that's on a hinge that mounts, kind of like Boba Fett. So yeah, we're going to get started on this backpack. So I cut out my backpack piece, and I've taken some random little odds and ends and tape them. I used a little clay to hold these guys down. This is just like a button. This is part of my paint sprayer. So is this. There's the bottom half of the Swiffer. Here's the nozzle tip for my paint sprayer. It's got a cool shape to it. And here's like a motion detector. All these things I keep finding with like these really great shapes. And I thought this was a really cool shape and that this would look pretty cool, so I've got that here, and then I also threw some random objects on here just to make some different shapes and stuff. So what I'm going to do is, before I actually shape this out of the plastic, I'm going to spray a little bit of a sort of a release agent, a lubricant, and that way I'll be able to separate all the pieces from the form sheet. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, so I'm just kind of liberally spraying this lubricant and letting it get all over everything. The better lubricated everything is, the easier it'll all come apart after it's been formed with the vacuum form. Some of the stuff I expect to get stuck, and that I'll have to probably maybe cut it and pry it and work it out by hand. That's not a big deal. The only thing I'm really concerned about is this backpack, and then like some of these little pieces I'm just going to cut out and use to make like some other cool stuff. I don't even really have a game plan. I'm actually just kind of like just going for it, because I think that's the, real artist does that. I'd like to think that I'm a real artist. Alright, so we got that done. I'm going to set up the tripod, and then we're going to thermal form. Alright, it's the moment of truth. Our plastic's ready. You guys dizzy? I would be after that. Now check this out. This is what we got. Boy, this piece came out really cool. And all these little doodads and shapes we got going here. This piece looks pretty neat. This looks really cool, but unfortunately we got some creases here, and that's just gonna happen when you're doing thermal forming. Nothing's ever perfect, but you can hear my puppy in the background freaking out. Alright, here's what we got so far. And of course the backpack and ion blaster. Needs a few trim pieces, but for the most part it's done.